first week of the campaign, every second door, you know what people were saying to me? They were saying, why are we having this election? $300 million, nothing is have a good prime minister, and sometime very long into the future, when he decides that he's moving on to his next career, they're going to look back on this time and they're going to say he was one of the most principled prime ministers we've had in a very long time. And Parliament has to respect their decision. And part of a minority government means that the timing of the next election may well not be determined by the government. And that, of course, is what's taken place. But I think there's an appetite out there now for no more federal elections for 4 years. And the only way that happens the only way that happens is we need to have a majority. And there's only one prime minister and there's only one party that's in line to make it a majority, and that is the Conservative Party. And that means in this election, there are going to be some surprises. Now, maybe there are not going to be so many surprises here in King's Hants, because I think you here knew that this was always obtainable. But outside of King's Hants, and Peter, I think it's fair to say that probably there was not that expectation. But King's Hants has always been a conservative riding. Those values are still here. The values of the work ethic, the importance of family, that people make better decisions for themselves than government can make for them, and that we take responsibility for our own actions. Those are conservative values, those are our values, and it's about time that King's Hants elected somebody that shared their values and became part of the government. And on that point, I want to thank Peter again, who has for years always been a wonderful supporter. Peter has come here through thick and thin, not only here, all over Atlantic Canada, all over the country. Internationally, Peter, you show up. And I don't know how you ever manage to keep your schedule. But I try not to think about it because it's difficult to conceive how you're able to give so much and do the excellent job that you have done, first as our Minister of Foreign Affairs, and now as our Minister of Defense. And Peter, what people say about you, is you are our best Minister of Defense, and I'm going to say since the Second World War, and possibly before. Peter rolls up his sleeves, and whatever he does, he jumps in, went through basic training. Was that about a year ago, Peter? But he did. He wanted to know what it was like to be a member of the armed forces. So he rolled up, he got in their shoes, and I think that is very important in politics. You should never forget why you're there. When it starts when elections and being the representative starts becoming more about being you than who you are there to represent, then it's probably time for you to move on to the next career. Peter, you have never forgotten why you're there. You have just, with honor, but humbly at the same time, gone out, represented your constituents, your country, your department, and you've done it with class, sir. And it is an honor to call you a friend and to have you here in King's Hants again. Thank you so much for being here today.